The sleeping giant. At the edge of the city, where broken streetlights flickered like tired eyes and dust never truly settled, there was a narrow garage with a rusted shutter that screamed every time it opened. People passed it daily without a glance. To them, it was just another forgotten place. Inside that garage slept a car. It wasn't beautiful anymore. Once, long ago, it had been. A 1996 midnight blue sedan, its paint now faded into uneven shades of sorrow and time. Scratches covered its doors like old scars. The hood had a dent shaped like a fist. One headlight was cloudy, the other cracked. The tires were worn, their rubber hardened by years of heat and neglect. But the car remembered. It remembered smooth highways, laughter echoing inside its cabin, music playing through speakers that once worked perfectly. It remembered pride. It remembered purpose. Now it stood silent. Dust layered its windshield so thick that even sunlight struggled to break through. The engine was cold and used for months. A spider had built a home between the battery cables. And yet, the car waited. Because it belonged to Ion. To Ion and the weight of failure. Ion was 27, but his reflection in the cracked mirror above the sink looked older. Life had a way of carving years into a man before time officially did. He lived in a one-room apartment above a noisy grocery store. The walls were thin. At night, he could hear refrigerators humming, people arguing, and sometimes children laughing, sounds of lives moving forward while his remained stuck. Ion had dreams once. Big ones. He wanted to build something of his own. A business. A name. A future where his parents wouldn't worry about him. Where he wouldn't avoid relatives because of the same question asked again and again. So, what are you doing now? But dreams cost money. And money had stopped coming. His phone buzzed constantly, reminders, warnings, final notices. Bills stacked on the table like accusations. The electricity company had already sent a red-marked envelope. Rent was overdue. Again. And then there was the car. The same car that now sat silent in the garage. It had been his father's. 3. The man who taught the road. Ion's father, Imran, was not a rich man, but he was a proud one. He believed in effort, honesty, and never quitting halfway. The car had been his greatest purchase, not because it was expensive, but because it symbolized freedom. Imran used to say, "A car is not metal. It is responsibility. It takes you where your legs cannot." When Ion was a child, Imran would sit him on the driver's seat, hands too small to reach the wheel, and explain every sound the engine made. "This one means she's breathing," he'd say. "This one means she needs rest. This one means something is wrong, and you listen." Imran never rushed the car. Never abused it. He washed it every Sunday morning, humming old songs, while Ion handed him tools like a serious assistant. When Imran passed away suddenly from a heart attack, the car became something else entirely. It became memory. And memory, when mixed with pain, can become unbearable. So Ion stopped driving it. 4. Silence and rust. Months passed. Then years. The car sat untouched as Ion tried and failed at different jobs. Delivery work. Call centers. Small businesses that collapsed before they could breathe. Each failure pushed him deeper into doubt. Each doubt pushed him further away from the car. Because every time he saw it, he remembered who he was supposed to become and who he wasn't. The garage became a tomb, and the car inside became a ghost. Until one night changed everything. 5. The letter that broke the night. Rain fell hard that evening, soaking the streets and turning reflections into broken mirrors. Ion returned home to find the landlord waiting outside his door. No shouting. No anger. Just disappointment. "You have 1 week," the landlord said quietly. "After that, I can't help you anymore." That night, Ion sat on the floor, his back against the bed, the letter clenched in his hand. His chest felt heavy. Breathing hurt. For the first time, he allowed the thought to form clearly. I have failed. Not just himself, but everyone who believed in him. At 3:17 a.m., unable to sleep, Ion stood up and grabbed the keys he hadn't touched in years. The car keys. 6. Awakening the engine. The garage shutter screamed as it lifted, echoing into the empty street. Dust swirled in the dim light. The car stood exactly where it had been left, patient and silent. Ion approached slowly. He placed his hand on the hood. Cold. Rough. But familiar. I'm sorry, he whispered, unsure whether he was speaking to the car or to his father. He opened the door. The smell hit him instantly, old leather, dust, and something deeply comforting. The seat creaked under his weight like it was waking up. He inserted the key. Turned it. Nothing. A pause. Then a weak click. Ion exhaled shakily and tried again. The engine coughed. Hesitated. Then, with a deep, struggling growl, it came alive. The sound wasn't smooth. It wasn't powerful. But it was alive. Ion laughed, a broken, surprised sound, as tears filled his eyes. The car had forgiven him. 7. The first drive back. The headlights cut through the rain as Ion pulled onto the road. The steering felt stiff. The brakes complained. The radio hissed uselessly. But the car moved. Street after street passed, the city quiet and empty, like it was holding its breath. Ion didn't know where he was going. He just drove. With every kilometer, something inside him loosened. He remembered his father's voice. When life gets heavy, drive. Roads have a way of reminding you that movement is possible. By the time the sun rose, Ion was outside the city, parked near a hill overlooking endless asphalt. For the first time in years, he felt calm. 8. An idea born on asphalt. That morning, something clicked. Ion looked at the car, old, worn, dismissed by the world, and saw himself. And he realized something terrifying and beautiful. If this car can still run, maybe so can I. He decided to restore it. Not perfectly. Not expensively. But honestly. 9. Blood, grease, and second chances. Ion sold what little he had. Borrowed tools. Watched endless tutorials. Made mistakes. Broke bolts. Cut his hands. People laughed. Why waste money on that junk? Just scrap it. Buy something newer. But Ion kept working. Every repaired wire felt like healing a nerve. Every clean part felt like removing doubt. The car slowly changed, not into something new, but into something respected. And so did Ion. He started documenting the journey online. At first, no one watched. Then someone commented. Then another. People connected, not to the car, but to the struggle behind it. 10. The road opens. Months later, the car rolled out of the garage transformed. Still old. Still imperfect. But alive. Strong. Ion had turned his pain into purpose. His channel grew. Brands noticed. Opportunities came, slowly, honestly. On the anniversary of his father's death, Ion took the car for a long drive. As the engine hummed steadily, he smiled. Not because life was perfect, but because he had moved forward. 11. What the car really was. The car was never just a machine. It was a lesson. That rust does not mean useless. That silence does not mean death. That neglect does not erase worth. Some things, and some people, just need time, patience, and belief. As Ion drove into the horizon, the car carried more than a man. It carried a life reclaimed.